Good afternoon. I am Vanessa with the 4 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online Facebook and YouTube. In the headlines, the Joint Trade Union Movement rejects talks on WASA restructuring. MRI machine still not working at the Scarborough General Hospital 18 months later. Internationally, a 9-year-old girl is shot in the head during a Houston road rage incident. And now the news in detail. The Joint Trade Union Movement has declined an invitation to engage in consultations on the future of WASA. In a letter in response to an invitation by Public Utilities Minister Marvin Gonzalez, the union made it clear that it won't be attending any meeting. The letter was both emailed and delivered by hand to Gonzalez's Sinclair office. The Joint Trade Union Movement said it found that the proposed restructuring of the state-owned enterprise was inconsistent with the principles and practice of good industrial relations. The union also recalled other restructuring exercises at Petrotrin and TSTT, which saw workers placed on the bread line. The trade union movement stated that it is clear that the real intention of this government's restructuring is to reduce the workforce and get rid of trade unions, collective agreements, and decent work. In other news, after being out of commission for the past 18 months, the magnetic resonance imaging machine, better known as the MRI machine at the Scarborough General Hospital, is still not working. Since the machine stopped working, some of its functions are being carried out by a CT scanner. Manager of Biomedical Engineering at the Tobago Regional Health Authority, Jefferson Guy, said the machine went down in June 2020 and it has not been back up since. He noted that the lockdown because of the pandemic has caused challenges in getting engineers to Tobago to fix the machine. However, once the lockdown was lifted and foreigners were allowed to travel to the country, arrangements were made for the engineers to get to Tobago. The Ministry of Works and Transport has advised that there will be a temporary traffic disruption along the Uriah-Butler Highway this weekend. This is expected to take place between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Work will commence at the second bridge after the Caroni flyover to facilitate slope stabilization works along the drainage channel. The ministry said a minimum of 2 lanes of traffic will remain open to drivers in the southbound direction at all times. Nevertheless, drivers are advised to proceed with caution and observe all directional signs and barriers. Internationally, doctors in Houston placed a 9-year-old girl in a medically induced coma after she was shot in the head during an apparent road rage incident, the girl's grandmother told CNN on Thursday. Ashanti Grant is fighting for her life at the hospital, her family said. Surgeons removed 1 bullet from her head. The incident took place Tuesday night shortly after 9 p.m. when Ashanti, her mother, her father and her 11-year-old brother were on their way to the grocery store. A GMC pickup truck is said to have cut off the family's vehicle several times on the northbound lanes of the Southwest Freeway in southwest Houston. The driver then got behind the family's vehicle and someone inside the truck fired shots towards the vehicle, hitting the little girl. Ashanti was the only one injured, according to CNN. And that was the 4 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online Facebook and YouTube. Recapping the headlines, the Joint Trade Union Movement rejects talks on WASA restructuring. MRI machine still not working at the Scarborough General Hospital 18 months later. And internationally, a 9-year-old girl is shot in the head during a Houston road rage incident. Do enjoy your afternoon and your weekend and continue to be safe. I am Vanessa Thomas. Miss Aisha Wells, the Queen of Talk, she's up next.
News from the street.